players talk about the excitement of the first game. Is there an excitement level for you coaches to get it here and get it started?
Sure, as much as anything, you're just kind of anxious because you're tired of waiting for it. You just want it here, though I'll take all the practice time I can get. You want it here, you want it here tomorrow, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. But in the end, you're just kind of excited to play and to see the personality of your team as you go. Every team's different, and so you want to see your team out there in the middle of it, and you see how they react to everything.
How did they react to the loss to Florida overall?
It was incredibly disappointing, to be so close and into the fourth quarter and to lose it it hurts. There's no way around that, and the players, everybody, involved in it. But that's part of the game. The other side's always out there, and that's what's exciting about it, and that's why, every week you're excited to go try again.
But did you see any extra push or motivation or anything as the winter and spring developed?
Our guys have always worked hard. It's not like we've had one good year and then we had one following it. I mean, for the most part, we have been pretty competitive through the years. So, to me, how do I notice it different than a lot? Not really. But I'll say this: I've loved how they've worked. I've loved how they've trained and how they've prepared themselves, and those kind of things. So it's hard for me to say is it different than some other year. I don't know how to do that.
Coach, can you talk about your non-conference schedule compared to, say, Texas, and how that'll help you in the long run?
Why don't you go ahead and comment on that? I'm not much on commenting on anybody else's non-conference schedule. If you want me to comment on ours, I realize it's incredibly challenging, and we're very aware of that. And a lot of people rank it up there, whether someone said it was the hardest in the country I'm sure it's one of the top few. When you look at difficulty and where we're playing and going down to Miami on top of the other games, with BYU and, Idaho State and Tulsa, all of them together, it's challenging. So, but, that's how we do it.
You talked about a top 10 team ought to play, this kind of a schedule, and after establishing the program again, you're very comfortable with this kind of a schedule. Does it pay off for you? I mean, does it pay off in week 6, week 7, week 8, having played BYU in Miami, or last year against TCU in Cincinnati?
Only if you win.
Is your team sharper having played those games, win or lose? I mean, going in, you feel more confident.
Well, it does. You get a better read on where you're at, sure. But again, I think it really, truly only benefits you, if you're winning them. If you're not, you're going to be penalized for it.
I guess 3 also Rans. You beat them, you win. That's not as good as beating, a couple nice teams along the way, is it? I mean,
well, like I said, if you beat them, you're in good shape. You put it perfectly. And if but in the end, I understand. I'm not being argumentative. It does give you maybe a stronger handle on where you're at going into week 6, having been in tough games.
Coach, talk about Cameron Kenny and his kick. Did you know he could kick that way when you recruited him, or was that part of it?
We did. He was an All-American punter in junior college, and so we were aware of it. But we liked him as a receiver first. But it is nice to know he can do that. What
determines when you want that type of a kick, or is that just whatever this?
If I don't like what the other guy's doing, so, the protection is just a little bit different. But we work it.
BYU defensively, do they blitz a lot? Or they?
No, they'll blitz some, but they're pretty standard and disciplined in their coverage. Like a lot of 4 deep, and your standard 4-3 and cover 4, and but they'll shift into an odd front once in a while, and they will blitz you some, but it's not like they go overboard with it. I think they play really disciplined, strong. They don't count on that to win for them. They count on playing very structured, disciplined team defense, and they do a good job of it.
What are your thoughts about Max Hall and the offense?
Excellent player. He's really you could see his maturity, his great decision maker. He's got an excellent arm. They do a really good job. Very efficient. Good player.
You know, a year ago at this time, Bob, everybody's talking about the big question, what this team could do on the road. Got a really challenging road schedule this year. What's your thoughts?
Well, sure. You know, it kind of goes with the other question that we got a really tough schedule overall. You know, home, road, and neutral places, and hey, it's just you just have to take it 1 week at a time. Not to use a cliche, but you just focus on that one event and how are we gonna how are we gonna compete in that environment, and this is what we feel we have to do to win, and try and focus on those areas.
Is the rule the same for you if the punt hits the video board?
Yes.
The do-over?
Wish I had some of those in golf. I'd be a lot better.
Bob, with a quarterback as veteran as Sam, are you able to add to the offense, do things that you wouldn't do if you had like a 1 year, 2 year quarterback?
To a degree, but as long as the other players are handling, the extra that you're doing, whether it be, all the other positions, are they able to handle, the extra that you're doing? But sure, Sam can handle an awful lot. I don't, he processes and understands the game as well as anybody.
What have you added along those lines to the offense?
Well, I wouldn't say. I would say this, though. I mean, if you watch us offensively, I think, Coach Wilson and our offensive staff do a great job, though, each week of tweaking and adding, little wrinkles or changes in what we do. I think they do a really strong job of doing that. So we add on as we go through the year, really.
Will the pace and the no huddle and all that stuff remain the same? I know you don't want to give any secrets, but with a new offensive line and new wide receivers?
You didn't hear, we're huddling now. We're not doing any of that.
You said that back in June.
No, I mean, yes, as long as it's productive and going the way you want it to, we will.
I know you don't like to compare, but given the depth and the talent, could the front four on defense be right with as good as any you've had?
It has a chance to be, definitely. With the quality of players up there, their how hard they play, their ability, but also, all of it, their competitiveness. It's a really good group, and that has a chance to be, for sure.
Bob, talking about the kickoff coverage, this time last year, before the Chattanooga game, did you have an inkling that was going to be a problem, or is that something you just have to get into games and find out?
Well, no, I didn't have an inkling, or hopefully I'd have done something about it. So it's just something that, as we kept going through the year, it at times, was pretty good. But then we just have, and at times too, though, I go back and I've watched it. There are some where we've got guys to make plays who don't make them, that are there. And if you're going to miss tackles on defense, the same thing's going to happen, So anyway, no, I didn't see that coming.
How many of those 10 guys, or kicker counting 11, I guess, are out there this year versus what you had last year?
Well, unsure, because we had a revolving door last year until we finally, through the end of the year, settled in on on certain guys. So I couldn't tell you that. But
why did Moreland quit and then come back?
Well, he had some family issues that he was dealing with. It wasn't so much quitting as he just had some things he needed to take care of with his family, and once he did that, he wanted to be back, and he's doing a nice job.
On most of your defenses, wouldn't have Frank Alexander been a starter? I mean,
he is, he is a starter in my eyes, and I think in our eyes. I mean, he plays as much as those other guys do, and really as well. He's a great player for us.
That
so
speaks to how good that front is, right?
No question, and in particular that position. But in our view of him, he is a starter. We those three guys in there, we're as comfortable as. And how it is. We don't care who's in there. When you make a call, you feel good about it.
Even though this is a neutral site game, do you think you have somewhat of an advantage because how close you are and how much of a fan base there is in Allen?
Hopefully that's the case. That's what you would hope with the proximity and those kind of things. And it's kind of like, last year in the national championship game, Florida had quite a few more than we did, even though it was a neutral site. So you kind of would hope that would be the case, and hopefully that's how it works out.
How often would you want to play a game like this, a neutral site?
Well, I don't think anybody's looking to take games away from Norman, Oklahoma very often. So I know Joe's very sensitive to that, and I don't know what the numbers are, but in this community, for our university, for the whole community, the town, you don't want to see it happen very much. So we're not looking to do it very much at all. Again, just for those reasons.
Is there an area that you want to see how performed into the light? You see what I'm saying, Brad? Is there an area that you just want to see how it becomes a real live game?
All of them. I want to see how every area does.
Nothing stands out that you're kind of sure about anything.
All right.